everybody, Gadget here. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Gadget's Gear. Today we're going to be looking at some of my discoveries as a day hiker, a camper, whatever, out on the trail. I like to have a hot drink or sometimes breakfast, but I don't like to put a whole lot in my pack, so I like looking at things that do double duty for me. In other words, why would I carry something that only does one thing when I can carry something that I can do several things from it? For today, we're going to be looking at the Stanley water bottle cook set, and we're going to be looking at the Trangia mini cook set and some of the ideas that I've come up with to make these things do double duty. So grab a cup of your favorite beverage and we'll get started in just a second. Stick with me. Okay, well, we're going to start off with the Stanley, I guess you'd call this a cook set, water bottle, coffee cup combo. And if you bought this as a cook set, it works really well, except you can't keep this top on it because it'll melt when you got it over the fire. But this thing does double duty, and what I like to do is I like to carry a platypus water bottle in my pack and leave this open to actually stuff things in here for making hot water or coffee or water for a mountain house meal. So what I do is, instead of loading this up with water and putting this in the pack, what I do is I load this up with other gear: fire, alcohol, food, breakfast, coffee, whatever, in this little thing right here. And this is my day pack. This is the Smith & Wesson Light Force Tactical Pack, and we'll be doing another review on this a little bit later down the road. But I usually put the platypus water pack in the back of this, and for my morning hikes or afternoon hikes, usually put this in the side. And this is my cook kit, my coffee, my morning snack, whatever else I want to use it for. So let's see what I actually have in here. By the way, this weighs in at 15.7 pounds with everything I had in it. And of course that will be a little bit different for however you configure it. So let's take a look and see what I got in here. Unscrew the top. And we've got some peanut butter. You can't go wrong with that on the trail. Peanut butter's good. Napkin. I've got a Nature Valley granola bar. By the way, this is usually breakfast for me in the morning with coffee, peanut butter, and a bar. In here I also have a fork, spoon. This is a little gadget that came with the Trangia mini cook set, and I've repurposed it and put it in here to help me with picking this thing up when it's hot, and it works very well. And hook it onto the side here and pick it up when it's hot. Now you can also use a multi-tool, but it kind of screws up the edge on this a little bit. This actually works perfect for it. Alright, got some foil for a windscreen in there. I've got my coffee. I've got my alcohol, and this is like I think this is a 3-ounce bottle. So you can do a lot of cooking with this. I have my Sweet and Low sweetener. This is a little stove that was made by a friend of mine, Richard Jacobs. It works really quite well. I don't need a stand or anything. This goes right there, and this sits very well on it. It's very sturdy. So I can light this up, put that thing on there. It's got measurements on the side, so you can figure out how much water you want to boil. And then, when the water is all ready to go, what I usually do with this in my morning coffee is I usually just dump Taster's Choice or the tea bag or whatever right in there, and I make my coffee right in this container right here. And then, after that's done and I put my sweetener in, I just simply take the coffee and I use this as it was meant to be used as double duty as a cup. That way I can get several different portions out of this for my coffee. However, please folks, don't forget to screw the top on tightly. I found that out. Gotten burned a couple of times, put some hot water in there and it leaked out all over my hand, so make sure that the cap is on there tight. And again, this works out very well. Clean this out with a little bit of water, wash it out, and you're ready to go. Everything else packs right in there. The stove, and of course this is going to be gone, this is going to be gone, but you can put your foil back in there, your napkin, this folds up, goes right back in there, the little spoony fork folds back up, it goes back in there, and you're set to go. Now, that being said, I've been looking around trying to find some other uses for some of the other gear that I use, and one of my favorite little kits is the Trangia mini cook kit. And I'll take this on an overnighter instead of the big Trangia cook kit, or I'll take this just for boiling water. It's a pretty good deal, it's pretty light. If I do this the way I've got it configured with the firebox stove, this weighs in at 19.8 pounds. So just a few ounces over what this had in it when we first started out. And of course it's going to get lighter because you're going to take stuff out and eat. But I thought I'd go in and I'd see what I could do with the firebox stove. I removed the little stand that came with the Trangia cook kit, and I've included the stove. Now you can put Ranger bands over this and tie it all together. Again, it's not too much for that, and this also does double duty in that you can use wood in it, or in this case we can simply open it up and we can use the Trangia alcohol stove. Now, what do I have in here? I got my coffee. Again, I got my peanut butter. I got my sweetener. I've got a Nature Valley granola bar, but you have to kind of bend it and to make it stick in there. And of course, I have my Trangia stove, and I really love the Trangia stove. The Trangia stove is absolutely bulletproof. The nice part about this stove is, as you all know, you can store your fuel in here because it's got an O-ring. So whatever fuel you have left over, you don't have to burn it out as you would with the little stove that I have in here. By the way, that stove really rocks. This stove that I have in here will boil water in about 5 minutes, the same as this one. Really good. So, how you gonna do it with this when you can't put it on here? So I came up with the idea with this little firebox stove, which is one of the niftiest little gadgets I've ever seen. Let's see if I can get this right off. Comes with these two little gadget thingies here. You simply unfold it, and what you can do is, if you want a really high flame, that is something where the ideal from the top of this to the bottom of your pan is supposed to be about 1 inch. If you want it a little bit lower, it fits in here quite nicely. And of course, you can use it like that. Get these things around here a little bit like this. And boil your water right there. Or, if you want to elevate this a little bit, let me see if I can get this right. simply put these little wire gadgets in the stove, and they tell you how to do this online. And that catches right on these edges on the Trangia stove, and it fits right in there so that it's about 1 inch from the top to the bottom of your pan. Now, the nice part about this compared to this is that you can use this setup that I have here. You can use it with wood or you can use it with alcohol. And you can also use that little stove that I have in here. It would fit right in the bottom. But there's really no need to do that when you can actually set your container right on top of that stove. You can use this with wood, you can use it with alcohol. The nice part about this is you have a pan, you can boil your water in there, and you obviously have a little frying pan. So you can actually do eggs or pancake or whatever you want to do in the little frying pan that comes with it. So I just wanted to share that with you, some ideas about what you can do with probably what you already got. I know a lot of you probably have this. I've seen this on the internet just 100 times, but I'm not sure that I saw anybody actually putting anything in it and using it like I've got it. I'm sure there is out there somewhere. I don't think I could have come up with this idea by myself. I did, but somebody else probably came up with the same idea. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Some different ways to get double duty out of your Stanley cookset cup thingy. I don't even know what you call it. And your mini Trangia cook kit. You can stuff a lot of stuff in here with the Trangia stove, and you can put all kinds of stuff around it, pack it in there real good so you can not waste a whole lot of space in your pack. So there you have it. I hope that works out for you. Perhaps that'll help you on some of your day hikes, day packing, whatever you do. Appreciate you joining me for this edition of Gadgets Gear, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.